What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Blank9 here today to chat with you more about some Call of Duty Warzone, and I wanted to talk about this sort of topic because I think it's really interesting, and I think it's something that's going to really help the game and the game overall sort of live past maybe even Call of Duty 2019 and through Call of Duty 2020 as well, sort of keeping it in the minds of players everywhere. And that's the fact that Fortnite Like Events apparently are coming to Warzone. If you don't know what Fortnite Like Events are, let me explain it to you. Near the end of every season and throughout this season as well, there's this sort of storyline that happens with Fortnite, this continuing story that sort of goes through each season where they sort of, I don't know, they build upon the world and the map through storytelling, new locations, new characters, etc., making the game and the game mode a lot more interesting to a lot of people because they get invested within the world, they get invested within the characters, and they sort of get interested to see what comes next in the story, theorizing about what things mean and that sort of stuff. And it was one of the most important parts of Fortnite's sort of rise to their popularity, because people were all over the internet talking about what the fucking black hole meant when Fortnite went down for, I don't even know how long it went down for, but it went down for some time, right? So it's like some sort of, what was it? Maybe it was like a day or something, 24 hours. I fuck it, I don't even know, and I don't really care. But people were going crazy. People were trending Fortnite's down. People were saying Fortnite is over. People were live streaming that black hole, and people were watching a black hole. People were actually watching a black hole, waiting for something to come out, waiting for things to come out of the black hole so that they could speculate what the thing that came out meant. Like, that sort of thing was crazy, and I think that sort of thing is going to help Warzone stay relevant. This comes out of a interview sort of with Kurosaki, who seems like he's the narrative director for Infinity Ward. He confirms that there are plans in the world to have some Fortnite-like events in Warzone, and he even made the comparison to the Black Hole event. And Infinity Ward says they're looking on similar kind of events for Warzone, but will all fit into the overall world of Modern Warfare and shine through Warzone as well. Now, this is interesting for a couple reasons. The first reason it's interesting is because they're sort of taking this idea of storytelling through world building in Warzone, and they kind of do it already throughout the seasons. You saw with, if you played the campaign, at the end of the campaign, Captain Price makes reference to Ghost, and then in season 2, Ghost comes, and there's this sort of cinematic, and people are going crazy because that's the new version of Ghost, and he's talking to Captain Price and that sort of stuff. Season 3 rolls around, you open up with Ghost as well in that cinematic, and you have Alex that comes back from the dead, because in the campaign, spoiler warning, he apparently dies, but apparently he's not dead. So sort of continuing the Modern Warfare story through Warzone and through multiplayer as well, but more so through Warzone, because I think it's a bit easier to storytell in a Battle Royale kind of game where you can kind of build the world and build the map surrounding the kind of story and events that you want to build upon. And I think it's really interesting. I think it's going to be something that's really good for Warzone. I'd say that Warzone could do it really, really well, and sort of, I guess one of the most interesting things about Fortnite and the way that they do events is that their world is very cartoony and very, I guess, sort of imaginative, and it's something that you can literally do anything in. There's a bloke with a banana, and he's a living banana. Like, there's so much you could do with that world, and there's a lot of creative freedom there. One of the challenges that Infinity Ward is setting for themselves is keeping the story that they want to tell through Warzone within their sort of universe and their established setting. So the established tone, the established world, and all that sort of stuff. So kind of keeping it very serious, very dark, very whatever, very war-y. That's not even a word, but keeping the story for Warzone within that setting. And I think, to be honest with you, if they were to do, let's say, season 3 ends in a way that sort of sets up season 4 for everyone to kind of be like, oh my god, what's gonna happen? Like maybe they release an update where a new location in the map just kind of drops in, or maybe they do something like Fortnite did with the meteor, where a meteor comes in and then everyone's speculating on where the meteor is gonna land, like that sort of thing, but not that sort of thing because Fortnite already did it. But just throughout Season 3, implementing elements into the Warzone map that people can speculate about, and things that will set up a story, because they've got to kind of get going. If they want to do Fortnite like events, they kind of got to get going here, because we're already in Season 3. Season 4 will be coming out, obviously, but then what are you gonna do? Because once Season 4 comes out, you're already in like late May, early June-ish. I actually don't know when it ends, but around that time. And the thing with starting it around then is that once you're in that period, Call of Duty 2020 is coming out soon. The beautiful thing about Fortnite is that Fortnite is Fortnite. There's no Fortnite 2. There's no Fortnite 3 coming. The issue that we have to tackle here is that Call of Duty 2020 is coming. So how do you make Warzone interesting when everyone's interested in Call of Duty 2020? You got to kind of start now. You got to kind of start building that world, building that universe, building things within the Warzone map to make people interested in what's happening. Can you imagine if, I don't know, out of nowhere, an AC-130 started just flying around in the air? Can you imagine if, for whatever reason, we reintroduce one of, like, Zakhaev. Zakhayev's one of the main things within this sort of Modern Warfare world that they're kind of building towards, and Verdansk, and how Ghost is sort of infiltrating Verdansk, and sort of discovering why people are fighting each other. Build upon that. Make something crazy happen. Remember the nuke in Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare in the campaign, where the entire US is like the US soldiers, they're flying in this helicopter away from the battle, and then bang, a nuke drops, decimating the land and killing all the soldiers in the plane. And that sort of thing shocked everyone who played that campaign. Can you imagine if something like that happened here in Warzone? If there's a countdown and people don't know what that countdown is going towards, and then once that countdown hits, bang, Verdansk, the current map that we know, nuked. Season 4 opens, and the whole map is like a wasteland. Buildings you originally knew were there are sort of there, but they're kind of broken in this sort of say, and it's kind of like a Mad Max type of wasteland, post-apocalyptic vibe. And I think that'd be really, really cool. Changing up the Warzone map for the better, to make it more interesting, to make it more appealing, to make it sort of like fresh for players. And I think that's one thing that these events will do. It'll make Warzone fresh. Everyone is sort of on a high with Warzone right now, but what happens in a couple months' time when we're still loading into the same map over and over again, and we're playing with the same guns and the same POIs and all that sort of stuff? I think that what Fortnite does interesting is that they continuously evolve the map. Locations that were there in Season 1 are no longer there, or the locations that were there originally are changed vastly to fit the setting and the story that the game is trying to do and trying to convey. So I think that's one of the things that Warzone can and will do very, very well. And I hope that the team at Infinity Ward realize the potential that this game mode has, and the potential for it to grow and evolve and be a game mode that can really test Fortnite and really do it in a way that excites the fans and excites the game, like the gaming community as a whole. Everyone was talking about the black hole. Everyone was talking about this fucking black hole, and everyone was, I was even watching the black hole. I was like, what is this shit? Why are there thousands of people watching a black hole? And I get it, because people were anticipating what was happening, because before that, everything in Fortnite was leading to what they thought was their end game, the end of Fortnite, the end of what you already knew, only for the black hole to open up again and reveal an entire new world, an entire new map, new settings, new mechanics, and essentially a new game. So I think that Warzone has the potential to do that, maybe leading up to the eventual release of Modern Warfare 2, whenever that game comes out. Maybe Warzone is still around, still kicking, and they're sort of building up to the eventual bang, Warzone Chapter 2. I don't fucking know. I'm just talking shit right now, but I don't know, that's kind of just my thoughts. I think it's really interesting. I think that's something that will definitely benefit the game. I think that's something that we will see, and I hope that they do it really well. But anyways, leave a like if you enjoyed, comment down below. What do you think about Warzone doing Fortnite like events? Do you like the idea? Do you not like the idea? Or if you have any sort of theories that they could possibly do in terms of storylines they can explore, let me know all that stuff in the comments down below as well. Click subscribe if you're new here so you don't miss out on my next video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.
Pull up in the gold, I'm leading. But them other man need feeding. I don't wanna go Bombay. Them I don't know what I do when I go from Beeling. Leading the pack in black and I'm on with a bat. Snapping with a phone and die. Boss up a man with a duster. Put him in the drip and sip blockbuster. Win, 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 that's the only ammo. Ring, 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 I reply with NO. Call me Leno, how they hot.